We are returning back to Doctor Who Season 1, which is very strange to think about. Instead of Series 14 following Series 13 or Flux, whatever you want to call it, with Jodie Whittaker, Ncuti Gatwa's new 15th Doctor will start with Season 1, with a whole new era leading Doctor Who into its third main era. We have classic, modern/new Who, and then this one, which for now I'm going to say is post-modern. But my biggest question with this is, what will be looming over the Doctor throughout these early seasons? Let me explain. What made the revival in 2005 so brilliant was that yes, it followed on from the classic show, however it was basically a brand new show with bits of classic Who sprinkled in, with the Autons and the Daleks, Cybermen, return of classic companions like Sarah Jane, etc. But it never relied on that. It didn't use the fact that you already knew who the Doctor was and what the TARDIS was and what the Time Lords were. It instead built that all up from scratch. And Russell T Davies did this effectively by introducing the concept of the Time War, a war that we never had seen on screen before, but gave a sense of mystery to the Doctor. And as we learnt more about the Doctor and the show through iconic monsters like the Daleks, it wasn't done through using past knowledge from the classic era. Rather, it was done through this new concept of the Time War, which gave you a sense that these villains had a history with the Doctor. It also made them much more threatening. And this device of using the Time War as this mysterious battle that this whole show was about carried New Who all the way up to the 50th anniversary, which if they were going to stop New Who there and then, and say Series 1 to 7 was a full separate show, I could have believed it, as they finally go and visit the Time War. And that is what made New Who effective and stand out as its own entity rather than season 29 of Doctor Who. It was like how the whole of Game of Thrones is set up through the Mad King's reign, who is someone we never actually meet, but it influences all of the characters' key decisions. And so we're heading back to season 1 with Ncuti Gatwa, as the show is being streamed on Disney Plus with a Disney budget. It's going to feel very different, like how classic and New Who do feel different from each other. And since Disney doesn't yet have the rights to stream classic or New Who, it makes sense to treat this as a brand new show, as lots of new audiences will be coming in who will have never heard of Doctor Who before, and so they'll want to start from afresh. And so the big question is, what is the new scenario going to be that they use to introduce these classic and New Who villains that make them, bringing them back, feel a bit more organic and earned, like how the Time War did back in 2005? Personally, I don't think they'll go for another war, as the Time War lasted across all of time and was time locked. They've already done that, so they can do something different. Instead, I reckon they'll do something more personal with the Doctor. Perhaps he forgets something vital or is tormented by something like the Trickster. Whatever it is, it needs to set the tone of why the Doctor is a mysterious man, and by that I don't mean it necessarily has to be dark like the Ninth Doctor, but just something that sets that tone. And at the end of the day, a new era, a new Series 1, means a sort of reboot for the show, where you should be able to watch just from Ncuti Gatwa and understand the majority of the context as if it was a whole new show. It makes me sad, but it also makes me very, very excited. But anyway guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let me know down below in the comments, what do you reckon this scenario might be? Do you reckon Russell T Davies might do something similar to the Time War? Do you reckon it could be something completely different? Or do you reckon that he doesn't actually need to have anything that kind of like looms over the Doctor, and instead we just see the Doctor kind of like how William Hartnell was introduced at first, but with a new complete style? And of course, I'm assuming Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor will be very different to William Hartnell's. Let me know all your thoughts down there, and as always, we've been here on Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
There's no sign of life out here, screaming.